Welcome to Circuit 42.
Circuit 42.
The one-stop location for all things geek. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Dragon's Lair San Antonio and Gotham Newsstand. Sit back, relax, and most importantly, enjoy another episode of Circuit 42.
Circuit 42.
Previously on Circuit 42. Oh my god, why is everything on fire? Johnny, what's happening?
I'm sorry, I didn't make a mistake whatsoever.
There's nothing wrong with the San Antonio water supply. It's supposed to taste that way.
You're damn right. You know, we gotta up our standards and make it like Cleveland's water.
5, 4, 2, 1, explosion! And now for the newest episode of Circuit 42. Hey everyone, it's me, Ian McIntosh. I'm here with Johnny Burns from the YouTube channel Johnny Burns.
Simple enough, and that's B-U-R-N-E-S. The E is for extra pretentiousness. How you doing, folks?
Be careful though. It's not nearly as lame as Circuit 42, but you're getting there. You're getting there.
Oh no, I'm already there.
Son of a bitch.
I've been practicing. I don't know what you've been doing, slacker.
So we were at this thing this month called Pax South. I hear they have the video games there, and also the tabletop.
I don't know, I just went there for the Starbucks.
That was probably the cheapest thing there. That's when you know you're at a convention center, when Starbucks is the most affordable thing you can have.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know how much I'll really contribute to this, because in this instance, I didn't actually get to really play much of anything except for Tempest there. I just kind of wandered around. I did do something different. I usually don't dress up for the occasion, but I figured I got long, gorgeous blonde locks, and I figured, before I cut them off, I should pull off a Terry Bogard. So I went and did my essentially second cosplay. So the first being I went as Sketch Turner from Comic Zone at a Comic Con. But one of these days I'll actually have pictures of these. That's the one problem.
Well, you've got pictures now because of those crazy folks at Circuit 42 and their awkward social media.
Very awkward.
So that's pretty good.
That's why you invited me.
I know. That's what makes it awesome.
I think, I don't know about that, but but I appreciate that compliment, though. I mean, Ian's very nice. He tries, he's just to compliment someone like me, a little schmo. I don't know. That's not true. I have a really big ego.
Hey, you did a video about Resident Evil 6 that made everybody happy.
Some people, a couple of people called me a fucking idiot, but they're not wrong.
Well, it's YouTube. That's like saying hi.
Yeah, I know. I've officially qualified. That one's doing pretty well. That's definitely that is pretty much the video I'm known for. Is I did a video called "How to Enjoy Resident Evil 6," and it's not apologizing for its faults, but it's at least showing some gameplay methods that a lot of people have overlooked and how to at least enjoy it on a stupid action game level. Because there are some neat little tricks and maneuvers that you can do in that game that you can't do in any other one. It is not nearly as good as Resident Evil Dead Aim, with the great, fantastic, the best protagonist of any video game out there, Bruce McGivern.
Oh, I just thought his name was Guy.
Well, Guy is pretty good.
I mean, he was in Galaxy Quest, and he was pretty awesome.
Oh, I was going to say, I was thinking Guy from Final Fight.
Or Guybrush Threepwood from Monkey Island.
Yeah, you know what? We need to do a game where they all fight each other. Someone put that in Mugen or Mugen.
And then Guy Fawkes just blows everyone up at the end.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's how it goes.
Guy Fawkes, you son of a bitch, and your stupid anonymous mask.
And all your women with the shaved heads.
I was literally somewhere online, and someone was selling a Guy Fawkes mask and V for Vendetta costume. They literally called it an anonymous costume. I'm not saying I wanted to stab that person in the face, but it was on Josh Hadley's page.
Oh, well, be careful. I mean, if you want to stab that person in the face, but remember, in the movie at least, he had, throwing knives and such.
Right? He had knives and Matrix moves.
Yeah,
exactly. Just like in the real V for Vendetta comic.
Well, I think Hugo Weaving really has those powers. He is an elf after all.
That's true. Also a robot. A
true.
Terrible, undecipherable robot.
Yeah.
Give credit to him, though. He said that he was, that there was literally no point to hiring him for that movie because they were going to cover up his entire voice and make him completely incomprehensible.
There is a perfect point for it, is so that he could get paid.
I was going to say, several dump trucks full of money.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to do anything. That's why I'm here, right?
You're not getting paid.
See ya.
Oh no! Please don't leave. I mean, the chain on your ankle stops you from doing so.
God damn it, Ian! Fine.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Right. Hi, folks. I'm back.
Yep. Chains on ankles make great negotiating tools.
Help me.
It's fine. It's better than Chowski's basement.
True. At least I'm not wearing panties.
That is true. Wait, you're not?
Well, no.
Okay. So, speaking of getting away from that subject, one of the first games I got to play at PAX, because one of the cool things about PAX is that they treat their small measly press like me, as well as they treat their other largely defunct press like PC Gamer Magazine, which I'm surprised is actually still around.
GamePro's the best, and Sushi X is the best journalist.
Yes, and EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Damn right.
They're still not around anymore. They're up there with Wizard Magazine.
No. At least I still have my subscription to Edge.
No one has subscriptions. No one has a subscription to Edge.
Well, alright, fine.
So, basically, PAX actually contacted me ahead of time, and they got a hold of a couple of small press companies, and kind of an oddly major small press company that we'll talk about later. One of the first games I played was called Clusterpuck 99, and
You watch your mouth.
Pluck you, sir.
Well, you're rather plucky today.
That's horrifying. Clusterpuck 99. I've completely forgot the name of the publisher who made that game. God damn it!
I thought I was the one that was unprofessional.
Hold on. I have this piece of paper in front of me. Coatsink. I actually have it written down. Okay, so I played a game called Clusterpuck 99 by Coatsink. It was on the Nintendo Switch, which I eventually will buy, even though I haven't owned a Nintendo system since the Nintendo Wii. Because like many, I was very disappointed in my awkwardly controlling Nintendo GameCube. This is pretty cool. It's basically it's like a top-down competitive multiplayer game. Very simple graphically, but it reminded me of playing like a Sega Genesis hockey game.
Okay, so all right. So is it? No, that's not the one we got to play. I only got to play a couple of games, and one of them was with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is more of a top-down hockey game, but more goofy along the lines of, not along the lines of something like Mutant League Football.
Weirdly enough, it doesn't look like a hockey game, but it plays like an old hockey game.
Okay.
Like, it's very simple graphically. Like, your characters are a combination of just sticks combined to one another, and you have to take the ball and you have to bring it around to all these different maps, some with like different holes and areas that you can fall in, fall off of, and you basically just have to outscore the other team. It's pretty much hockey with really no graphics.
Okay.
Or like bare minimum graphics.
All right. Simple enough then.
Yep. But it's a perfect example of a game where you don't need great graphics to play the game, because it was just all about playing multiplayer there. And the thing I liked about it was that there is no online multiplayer.
Okay,
it's
local only.
Yeah, it's all Coachella.
No, couch co-op.
Couch co-op. Because honestly, multiplayer games are more fun when you can punch the other person next to you for fucking around during the game.
Don't punch me, Ian.
Bonk.
Ah, God.
Damn it. Damn my streak of physical abuse. My jaw. See, that's why most of the guests can be Skype. It's much easier.
I couldn't escape.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you now.
Okay. This is horrible. Okay. So, the next game I played was called Shoot. It was by a company called Secret Lunch.
That's my favorite Chim Pokemon.
I got Shoe! For all those who remember the Chim Pokemon episode, go on Hulu and watch it, because it's still kind of amazing. Because apparently the Pokemon want us to bomb Pearl Harbor.
Well, I'm really waiting for the new Chim Pokemon Go, so I can, take it around on my phone, capture them in the wild.
A bomb at the harbor.
Oh, that's the place. That's like a hot spot.
What was it, Lantron?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's not far off from some of the later Pokemon where they completely just stopped caring.
Trubbish.
What
It's a goddamn garbage can.
What are you talking about? It's nowhere near as cool as Evolution Carpagos.
Yeah, what about the chandelier one? I know that one's in Pokken.
I stopped playing after the beginning. I'm like, this is getting stupid fast. So
I'm not a Pokemon guy, and that's because I grew up on before like anime kind of got big. I saw some select ones like Iria and Akira before Pokemon was even around. So by the time it was around, I was like 10, and I was like, where are the decapitations? This isn't hardcore enough. Whatever.
I remember the best anime, Transformers the movie.
That is a damn good one.
Oddly enough, it is fairly hardcore.
It is. It's indeed very much is more so than the current movies.
I know, mainly because the characters actually stay dead past the end of the movie.
Yeah, well, you got to buy the new toys.
Oh yeah, all those kids crying in the theater.
Yeah, I don't know. The saddest part was when Orson Welles died.
Now I'm sad. I think this is the problem when you get the producer of Manhunter to produce your children's movie.
Is that what happened?
Well, basically they wanted people to just buy the new kids to buy the new toys. They didn't think they'd care, so they just killed off all the original Transformers, so they could promote the new line of action figures.
I don't know.
Not understanding that this might lead to an entire theater full of children crying.
Oh, they'll be crying at the toy store when they want the new toys.
But come on, man, you can totally get today's equivalent of Alpha 5. Was it Emperor Snoke?
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. I actually haven't seen the new movies, but I know he's very popular with all the Star Wars fans these days.
Not with the toy collectors though. He is like the most expensive benchworm, the most expensive pegwormer ever. It's like $30, and you find them at every store.
Huh. Oh well, you know, it's at least it makes the shelf look full.
Oddly enough, DJ, the character played by Benicio del Toro, because we all need a Benicio del Toro in our lives.
Damn right.
Is like the hardest to find figure.
Oh well, I understand why he's his popularity grew after The Hunted.
Oh.
You mean it didn't?
That movie's not that bad.
Fine, he was Big Top.
God damn it, I forgot he was in that movie. License to Kill. License to Kill, man. Classic. Timothy Dalton. You know, it's 2 movies. You don't know me. You're not my real god.
Usual Suspects. Fine, we'll go.
What did you just say?
Right.
All right. And of course the next one was the game Dauntless, which is actually one of the most impressive games I played there. Apparently Dauntless is by a lot of people who used to work for BioWare. Yeah, back before that all fell apart.
I was saying I saw some advertisements and such for this. I didn't get to play it myself. I know it's a free-to-play game, and like the stuff is anything that you obtain or like have to essentially buy or cosmetic. But like, what's the gameplay itself like?
I would compare it to something. Here's the funny thing: I don't really like World of Warcraft because despite the fact that there's so many people there, it always feels kind of singular.
Yeah.
Dauntless is all about co-op.
Okay.
It's a online RPG, but you can play the full group. It's really, really fun. Although at the end of the demo, we're like chasing this one monster and just beating the shit out of it. And after a while, it just feels kind of messed up because it's like there's a group of 4 people just beating the crap out of this giant rhino with armor shit.
Well, listen, it's just after Trump opened up some of the regulations for that, you can bring in the ivory. It's worth doing.
I know. Plus, they have the rhino plates because they're awesome.
Oh, they sound awesome. Not as good as my commemorative Dukes of Hazzard plates.
Well, I think Donald Trump actually has those.
You know what? If he does, that's the most tasteful thing he has.
Fair enough. But, he paid so many 6 figures they wouldn't tell anybody about them.
Yeah, true.
Okay, enough idiot bashing. Okay. The big one, and the reason
you were talking about me. Yeah, you pat my shoulder.
The big one, and the one that I actually had to partially delay the show because of, was the publisher 505 Games. 505 Games is actually a relatively new studio created by the creators of System Shock and Thief and plenty of other classic games. Of course, a lot of their people, including people who are there, actually worked on the BioShock games up to BioShock Infinite, and now they're actually starting their own new distribution company called 505 Games, and they've got 3 games coming out: Underworld Ascendant, Memories of Mars, and Laser League.
Now, Laser League was the only one I've at least heard of, but so you have to kind of describe what these ones were to both me and the audience, of course.
Well, Underworld Ascendant is part of the Underworld series.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and that's actually
That's Underworld, like the film franchise, or something?
no, it's actually from Ultima.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's
yeah.
not from
You know what?
Underworld.
I know. Okay, I know
Yes.
what you mean.
I'm a dumb butt. Don't listen to me. Don't. But
My influence is rubbing off on you. I apologize.
It was, I believe, Ultima Underworld was
Yeah.
the original game.
Yeah, I think there were 2 of them.
This is a follow-up, Ultima Underworld Ascendant, or just Underworld Ascendant.
Okay.
And at first I was like, wait, why is there an Underworld game? No one should have an Underworld game, because that was a movie franchise that pirated, aka Pirates of the Caribbean, where you make one good movie and then you just kind of stop.
It's anything that gets Michael Sheen work is worth keeping.
Seriously, I love the fact that you have a man who won an Oscar for Frost Nixon, and about a year or 2 later is like, you know what, fuck it, I really don't want to be in this movie, so I'm gonna act the living shit out of it.
And it's amazing. But Frost Nixon is really good. I did something weird where I watched Frost Nixon for like the first time recently, and then I watched Kong Skull Island. And oddly enough, the movie where it's 2 people talking, it's David Frost and Richard Nixon, sitting in a couple of chairs from across from each other, is rated R, while the movie with the giant bugs and monkeys eating people and tearing them apart is a PG-13.
Oh, Skull Island is bizarrely violent for a PG-13 movie.
Bring the kids.
But it's pretty goddamn fun, and I never thought... I always kind of forget that John C. Reilly can actually act, because he kind of got stuck doing comedy, but when he goes back to drama once in a while, or mixes it up like he did in this movie, you kind of forget that, wow, John C. Reilly is a really good actor.
I just saw him in, I rewatched Gangs of New York, and he popped up, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot he was in this.
It's that awkward moment where it's just mean. John C. Reilly, I forgot he was an actor.
Uh-oh, whoopsie daisy.
Oh no, he's not playing John C. Reilly, which means he's a tremendous asshole.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, apparently John C. Reilly is known for being a bit of a son of a bitch. To the point when a little boy or little girl came up to him and asked about Wreck-It Ralph, and he basically just blew them off.
Oh, well, he needed to put in more quarters.
God damn it. Although that movie is still pretty awesome. Even though it does become Sarah Silverman the movie about halfway through, but that's not important right now.
No, it isn't. What's important right now is the stuff from 505 Games. What you got?
I'm not easily distracted. Okay, so Underworld Ascendant is a first-person RPG. First-person action RPG. But it's kind of cool. It's a fantasy game, of course, because it's part of the Ultimate franchise. But the great thing about it, and the great thing about their games in general, is that while you do have 3 classes, like you do in pretty much every game, you have the magic user, you have the fighter, and you have the stealth class, there is no specific way for you to solve any mission. So anything can be done any number of ways.
Okay.
And it's all based off how you want to play, what you want to do. There's no scripted sequences. Like, literally everything is all player choice.
That's good. Well, you did say it came from, the Shock team and Thief and all that. And now these, before I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't ask the question I was going to.
Well, spoilers. Okay, so what was the question you were going to ask?
I was going to ask, I know you did a specific interview with a big game developer that worked on other games that involved a lot of choice, very influential, perhaps some of the best games of all time. But I kind of wanted to allude to it, and as if it was like a specter in the room.
I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
Warren was actually not there.
Oh.
The co-creator of the game in question.
Okay, so
on the episode that will be uploaded, he was there.
Okay.
I got to interview him, and I got to interview the co-creators of the game who worked with the new games that we were going to talk about, who worked on BioShock Infinite as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that game that like 5 people played, and despite the fact that it did insanely well, the studio told them it didn't make enough money for them to make a follow-up.
Oh, yeah. Is that why? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only played a little bit of it. I just never got around to really getting into it. I spent most of my time just kind of jumping off the ledge and laughing about it.
God damn it.
Sorry to say that while you were drinking and almost spit all over the microphone and all your electronics and collectibles here.
Why is everything on fire?
Well, sorry. I was talking about Bioshock Infinite again.
That's my life. I mean, there's gasoline on the floor. Seriously, why would anyone leave that much gasoline on the floor in their, like, happy little racist town?
Yeah, exactly. All the barrels that you could just, blow up. It's convenience for the player choice.
Yeah. I still love, what was it, when Fox News, they were talking about how, like, awesome, great America is, when you're white and rich. And they took an image from, what was the city in Bioshock Infinite again?
Columbia.
They took an image from Columbia, and they put it in the background. Because one of their
that's
graphics
right.
guys was just lazy, and he just put it in the background. And I have to wonder if this guy did this on purpose, and if he was just a tremendous troll who just happened to be there to collect a paycheck.
There's been a couple instances like that. There was the one of they were talking about I forget which network it was, but they were talking about like the Russian hacking scandal, and they used a screen from Fallout 4. There's been a few of that. I think there was one that used like some Call of Duty footage, like from the AC-130 mission. Don't quote me on that
Which
one.
actually looks really, really real. Like I have family who served, and they saw that level, and they said this is creepy because it literally looks just like actual AC-130 footage.
Well, when Call of Duty 4 came out, and everyone at the time loved Call of Duty 4, like you didn't have people like criticizing Call of Duty like
Because
they
they
do now.
tried.
Yeah, because it was worth it. That game is fantastic. But I worked at a game store that had that was right next to an army recruitment center, and so we did have like some of the guys come over, and like they were talking about, it's like, yeah, it looks just like that over there. It's like really close, and I did know one guy that had like PTSD that didn't really like playing that game because it did at least, of course it's not 100% realistic, but still, if you're seeing stuff like that, and it might just at least remind you of something you saw over there, at least just like even the environment and such. But anyway, that's a grim thing to discuss at this moment. How about a happy thing, or at least a more pleasant thing like other video games?
Well, how about with Part 2 when they just turned it into a kind of racist James Bond movie?
The Modern Warfare 2?
Yes, the one where it's like, I'm Lance Henderson. Oh, you're the villain.
That was Lance Henderson, wasn't it?
Yes.
God, I don't remember that.
Hey, he did that, and he did Mass Effect in the same year. And then
that's right, I did Mass Effect.
And then he did a really bad Pirates of the Caribbean ripoff by Asylum.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I at least enjoyed when Harbinger Down came out.
Oh, that was the
Thing kind of...
the one that actually had like real effects.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best movie, but the effects were holy crap.
Yeah, there were some neat parts. I like the Russian chick in it. And I think, and of course, Lance actually did a good job. It's a sad part.
It is one of the few times where I will give credit to Comic Book Girl 19 because of her YouTube channel I actually found out about that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with the channel. So
it's that mix of informative and you kind of wonder how much of this is scripted. Yeah.
So. Just like this podcast.
Not because of genders, but because she was just really, really annoying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just like me.
You're not really annoying.
Well, that's for the listener to decide.
Fair enough. But then again, I'm not too good to judge of being annoying because I'm Ian McIntosh.
I don't know. You're pretty likable. I'm abrasive.
Bad. Okay, so the next game I played about 505 was called Memories of Mars. I
forgot about that one.
It's pretty cool. It's a oh god damn it. God fucking damn it.
I apologize. So
I was just punishing recording the show.
How am I? So I'm not annoying?
No. Sure. Maybe. Sandwich. One of those is an answer.
Ooh, I want a sandwich.
No.
Damn it.
Okay, so with Memories of Mars, it was a had nothing to do with Total Recall. It was an online multiplayer shooter, but it was literally set on Mars. And you wake up in this space. You wake up on the ship. You don't know what happened. You come out into Mars, and all of a sudden you're fighting these other guys. There's creatures that you have to fight as well, and then there's the other people you're playing against. Now, the thing that makes it really interesting is that pretty much everything can kill you. When you're not shooting and trying not to get shot, you have to maintain your oxygen level. If your spacesuit gets cracked, you have to fix it. If you start doing a lot of moving around, you have to eat food, because eventually your character's going to starve. It is a like many games by these designers, it is incredibly difficult, but it's that really great kind of difficult. Where like, I want to survive. I'm gonna die. Thank God I woke up over there. I want to keep playing.
Oh, okay. Is it do you know, or maybe you mentioned it, did you say if it was procedurally generated or not? Because it's a survival type one, but it's the levels are actually like designed, right?
Well, it was a very basic demo that we played at the time.
Okay.
Because it just was basically Mars desert and rocks and some buildings.
Okay. No. All right.
Like, this game is they really just started making this game.
Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Now, the funny thing is, my favorite was actually Laser League.
Yeah, this is one I heard about. I forget exactly what it, I know I've looked into it before, but yeah. So describe.
Laser League is basically co-op multiplayer with meets sports game with a kind of a Tron look to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the thing that's interesting about the game is that while it's all done through it's basically all done through like a modernized version of vector graphics.
Okay.
And your characters, you have different skills. Like, you can do one that can like ram people. You have one that can like stab people. Basic offense, basic defense. And the character I picked actually was one that could not kill any of the other characters. All I could do was ram them.
Okay.
And so you have a shield, and the game's not about just beating up the other characters. It's about the fact that you have different nodes. And when you hit that node and you take over, a light comes out, similar to like the light from the Tron cycle.
Okay.
And so you have to knock the other player into that. Or if the other player gets the opportunity, they take over that part of the base and take over the node and turn it into their own kind of weapon. And whoever gets the largest amount of kills, either via their own weapons or via the environment, is a winner. Now, the thing that's really fun about the game is just the fact that there are so many different ways you can play it. You can just attack the enemy. You can use the environment itself. You don't even have to hit the enemy. You can just basically hit them in the right place at the right time, and then activate the node, and then kill them that way.
Okay.
It's really cool. It's once again like like Clusterfuck. It's while you've got the kind of Tron LED light style, LED neon style, it's a fairly simple game graphically, despite that, and it doesn't need like really high-end graphics.
Yeah. You know, if it's that kind of competition sort of thing, and it is appropriate you're discussing this while you have a Tron Funko Pop like right next to you at this moment. So
I don't like Tron. I don't have the chases of those downstairs and the regular ones here.
No?
You're a crazy person.
Well, yeah, but you know, okay, fine. My eyes deceive me. I do wear glasses after all. But
sure.
All right. So now this one, all of these were for PC, right?
Yes, they were all for they're all for PC except for
Is Laser League on other systems? I thought that one was.
I think Laser League is. Laser League is multi-console, but the other ones are PC, and you can tell that they're very much designed for that.
Okay.
Like, especially something like Underworld Ascendant.
Yeah.
Where you have so many different things you can do that playing on a console would be kind of like how. No offense, when they first tried to bring Deus Ex to a console.
Right. Okay.
What was the second game they made? Because you had
Invisible War.
Yeah, Invisible War was a mess because you had a game that was clearly not designed for consoles trying to be played on a console.
Yeah. Well, I had the have the PlayStation 2 version of the first Deus Ex, and like there's whole parts where like the levels are just like kind of redesigned. It's still like if that's your only way to play the game, yeah, it's still good, but of course it's definitely not. It's meant for a PC. So and besides, anyone listening to this that hasn't played the first Deus Ex, and even some of the later ones, like it's one that the graphics might not wow you at first, and then it might take a while before you really see what makes it good. But you'll reach a point where, like you're in a situation where you can do a whole lot of things, and you're not told that you can do a whole lot of things. And so it's really clever just to kind of play around. It's like, oh well, let me try this, let me try that. And they kind of tried to do that with later games, but not quite as much, like with Human Revolution. So absolutely give them a try. But now the with the Underworld one, that is kind of, when you say it was like a first-person perspective, kind of like it is like full free roam, not like a grid kind of like block. How should I put it? Block level, like Legends of Grimlock, if you know what that is.
You do have to get through the levels. It's not like it's a completely free roam game.
I'm saying like you can kind of freely look around and walk, like Legends of Grimlock and like a lot of the old dungeon crawler games. It's like you move basically square by square. You're in first person, but you're moving through kind of like a maze square by square.
Yeah,
and,
this is not
right angles.
This is not square by square. This is full control.
Okay. I can't remember what the old games were like.
And the thing about it is that, and they showed a level where you saw like these little slugs, and then you saw the guards, and then you saw these plants that can kill you. And this big pokey, spiky hand thing. That's a description.
Oh, okay.
And
so it's just really, it's Florida.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But the thing that was cool about the game is that you can go all around the level. You can play it any way you want. Like what they did, because the little snails, they leave a trail, and the trail is flammable.
Oh, okay.
So they got the they had to go by one of the plants, and then they basically directed it using this fruit that it would go after, and they threw the fruit near where the guards were.
Oh, okay.
And so it started creating this path, and then you lit the path on fire, and then all of a sudden they basically took out all the guards without actually attacking the guards.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. Although I am just thinking of like, all right, if the snail, or if this is snail or slug, I forget what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if one of them is crawling along and they're just creating fire right there, all you have to do is throw salt on them, and they already got the fire cooking, and there you go, you got yourself a meal. And that's how you replenish health, right?
No. You don't eat snails.
No,
your character, I was going to say, your character is not French.
Oh, okay, fine. So.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed. Johnny's disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I thought they're not they weren't in Montreal. They weren't a Canadian company.
I do not remember. I think they are actually from here in the States.
Oh, okay. Must be. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I thought.
Actually, no, they're from Texas.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm thinking of the newest Thief game was like a Square Enix Montreal or something like that. Anyway.
Poor Canadians, they can't do things.
Well, they tried.
Okay, let's give Square Enix Montreal credit. They actually made some really, really good games, like the recent Tomb Raider reboot.
That's right, they did. Yeah, that was really good. Looking forward to the new movie. Hopefully it doesn't suck like the last one.
Honestly, it looks really good, and the fact that it's by apparently the same writer who's being hired to write Captain Marvel for Marvel.
Oh, okay.
And because there are two Captain Marvels, of course. And also she's going to be writing the upcoming new Sherlock Holmes sequel that's going to be coming out.
It's not a continuation of the Downey Jr. Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised that is it still Guy Ritchie doing it after King Arthur?
I might be, because honestly, I think putting him with King Arthur, I don't really blame him, because he's not really the kind of director you put with King Arthur. That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he thought it'd be fun or something. But I will say, if you haven't, I only just recently watched Man from U.N.C.L.E., the other movie he did, and that also has the girl that's the new Tomb Raider, and she was in Ex Machina. Yeah. I really like the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. is extremely underrated. That movie is so much fun.
That it really is, and watching it, I gotta say it. I really want Henry Cavill and Guy Ritchie to do a James Bond movie. Like they pulled off that vibe pretty well, to be honest.
I gotta say, on the brief aside, the writer in question, Geneva Robertson Dorette, that's a mouthful. It's kind of cool. Like, you don't really see a lot of female screenwriters who work almost exclusively in genre films.
Yeah.
I mean, she's doing a movie of Rom. She's doing one of Mask, Gotham City Sirens, Sherlock Holmes 3, Tomb Raider, Captain Marvel, and she's going to be working on a reboot of Dungeons and Dragons.
I better have one of the Wayans brothers in it.
No.
Well, you just lost a ticket sale then.
Although the part where he died was pretty good.
No, oh, how dare you.
And then he came back.
Homie, don't play that.
God damn it.
It's different Wayans brother.
Never do that again.
That's it. I promise nothing.
See, the only thing is, it is by the director of Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black, which made me slightly worried.
No.
But they also direct Monster vs. Aliens and Goosebumps, which are way, way better than they should have been, especially Goosebumps.
I haven't seen either. Read the Goosebumps books as a kid.
Goosebumps is a perfect example of a movie whose trailer makes it look like hot garbage.
Oh.
Then you watch the movie and you're like, huh, that was actually pretty good.
Huh.
I wouldn't want to say a sequel. That was pretty good.
My example for that is Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. The trailer for that makes it look like he's like doing this. He's a gun runner hiding it from his wife, and that's not really what the movie is about.
Oh no!
So
that movie is by the same guy who made Gattaca and what was the one with Jim Carrey, The Truman Show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew Niccol, he is not one to do light movies.
No. Did I see that he's bringing up IMDb now? Did he do The Host?
He did, but consider that movie had like 7 screenwriters.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
It had one. Oh God.
Oh, well.
Well, everybody has one.
Hey, you got to get paid, right?
And he also did Simone.
Didn't see that.
Yes, starring Al Pacino as a yelling guy.
And, unfortunately, his lady friend is sleeping at the moment, so I can't do my proper Al Pacino.
Damn.
I would shout, do a proper shout for you.
You say you can't do a proper shout like Pacino, but you gotta go full 88 minutes. That movie is the longest 88 minutes of all time.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I'll take your word for it. I haven't actually spent 88 minutes watching it, so...
It actually is 88 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
And it feels like 3 hours.
I'm disappointed that 24 was not exactly 24 hours long. They didn't compensate for commercials.
I know. Or seasons.
Lying bastards. Although,
Yep.
President Palmer 2020.
That's better than what we have now. Okay, so with that, did you have any other stories of PAX? Because I've been nominating a lot of this. What did you enjoy about PAX?
We kind of wandered around a bit. I've done a couple of videos of like previous PAX times at PAX, like kind of a collage of like all sorts of stuff, and I covered like the Resident Evil Umbrella Corps when that was new. I talked to like Angry Joe, and a couple different things. But like this year, I only got to go one day, so I just kind of went wandering about and just seeing what was about and just kind of seeing who was about. So wandered around with Ian here, get to see some other buddies that I've talked to before and done interviews with, the nerdcore artists, Mega Ran, Bitforce, who's local to the San Antonio area. They do like rock covers of various songs, IQ, and various other musicians and such there. So it was nice to see them again. But otherwise, I didn't really get much more like actual PAX things there. I just kind of went there to socialize, I suppose. We did go to the arcade for a little bit, and so we kind of goofed around. You got to play the Die Hard arcade game,
which is like one of my favorite, so bad it's awesome games. Because Die Hard the arcade game is not a game that was meant to be about Die Hard, and that's why.
Much like the last movie.
Yes, actually, this was much more entertaining because that movie did not have robots. It did not have a part where
What are you talking about? Bruce Willis is by now.
Fair enough.
Basically acts like one.
Fair enough. I like Red though. Red is fun. Red 2 not so much.
I just liked John Malkovich in those.
Yep. And what's his face from every movie with a badass Korean dude? What's his name? Boon something Kim.
Oh yeah, the guy.
Endo
Endo from Lethal Weapon, right?
No.
From first Die Hard that stole the Kit Kat bar?
No.
Oh, you lost me.
Byung-Hun Lee. There you go. He's a really cool actor who, unfortunately, is best known here for being Storm Shadow in the live-action G.I. Joe movies. But in Korea, he's a huge actor. He did a really good horror thriller called I Saw the Devil.
Heard of it, haven't seen it yet.
And he's been doing some roles here in the States, but they're primarily supporting roles because Asian actor trying to do movies in the United States.
Oh, don't worry, he can be in the next Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, I just remember him and Helen Mirren being the best part of the movie. Although it is weird because you watch Red 2 and it's like their chemistry is kind of odd, and I'm pretty sure their characters are just gonna start having sex.
Oh, well, you know, if you got the chance with Helen Mirren,
fair enough.
Doesn't matter what age or she is.
I mean, I know this, you know this, Mr. X knows this.
Oh yeah, he knows what's up.
Yep, he knows what's going down.
His penis.
God damn it. The less we hear about Mr. X's penis, the better.
Yeah, he is one to show it simply on Twitter. So if you follow Mr. X on Twitter, be warned.
Yes.
He will warn you if you've listened to his podcasts on Geek Juice Radio. Which I don't even know. Are they even doing podcasts? Like, every time I go to listen to
well, most of the ones I do now are the Geek Juice Live, which, let's be honest, was the live episode the best part.
Okay, I never get to catch those.
But they're pretty much all archived on there.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. I love the way my mom described Byung-Hun Lee. Asian James Spader. Because as she put it, he doesn't look like any other Asian actor. And I felt bad because, as my mom put it, he doesn't have the androgyny factor of most Asian actors, and he just kind of looks like young James Spader if he was Asian.
Huh. Well, I don't know. We got to find out who's going to be the Asian Denny Crane then.
It will probably be him after he eats all the other James Spaders.
Okay.
Nom 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 nom. Oh no, it's later James Spader.
Oh no. Well, that's all right. He's just going to do more voice acting as Ultron.
He's both funny looking, but also horrifying.
I don't know. The Blacklist.
Blacklist is amazing.
I haven't watched it. But no, I didn't get to play the Die Hard game. I kind of went. We played a little bit of Third Strike.
Third Strike.
Yeah, which is I know not you're not a big fighting guy, but
I enjoyed that game.
Yeah, it's really fun. That Street Fighter Third Strike is my the second favorite 2D fighter. Just to kind of narrow it down a little bit.
To give you an idea of how good at fighters I am, I'm that guy who really likes to play as Chun-Li because jump and kick.
Well, yeah, that's really good. I'm not good at I'm not good at much of any video game. I don't have to take the time, but I do really enjoy them. And Street Fighter Third Strike is my favorite. So we got to play some of that, and it's always cool to play an actual arcade machine. But the one that's always, whenever you get a chance to play like a classic arcade machine, you got to try it out. So in this case, they had a Tempest machine there, and you were talking about Vectrex graphics with like Laser League and such. And this is a proper Vectrex game. And it uses the just a spinning dial to control it. If you're not familiar with Tempest, it's basically like there's an octagon on screen looks like a tunnel, or it's like a different shape and it's a tunnel. And like you have a bunch of enemies kind of coming down each side of that shape, and you're this like kind of weird little chevron spider thing going along, and you just turn yourself with and go around this geometric shape, shooting at these enemies before they get to you. And it's what they use is the spinning it's just a spinner.
You don't want to just say that you turn the knob because that sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, you don't pull it and bop it and zip it. But but it's because of the way that little dial that you're twisting there. It's very sensitive, and it's very like 1-to-1 with your movement. And playing it in an arcade like that is instead of like playing it at home or on an emulator with the buttons, it's not the same.
Oh yeah.
Probably the best example of this is if you ever played Defender in the arcade. And Defender is one, it's the ship, you're going around this like plane, shooting spaceships, and you're trying to rescue little people before they get sucked up by UFOs. You
know who's the best Tempest player? That little kid from the Twilight Zone movie.
What's it? Oh, is he the wizard?
Yeah, he was the one who was like when they adapted the whole Billy Mooney one with the "I'm Gonna Wish You Into the Cornfield."
Yeah, was he playing Tempest?
Yeah, he was playing Tempest at the beginning.
It's
and
been a while.
that's my most knowledge of Tempest. That was in that movie.
Ah.
And then Joe Dante gets all crazy and shit, and you realize how dark a PG movie can be.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, his sister has no mouth and looks in pain. What the fuck am I watching? Why am I 8?
Don't worry. Just cuddle up with that bunny rabbit.
Fuck you!
I don't know. I'll wish him for you.
That particular short as a kid, that short was nightmarish.
Yeah, there's a few things that are nightmarish about that. But, if you want to see something really scary...
Nope. Get away from me, Dan Aykroyd.
No. But, the Defender's control scheme, to go through this real quick, is instead of, moving the ship, it's a side-scroller sort of thing. Instead of moving it with the joystick left or right, up and down, what you do is there's, one joystick for... moving up and down. There's another one for you press a button to turn left or right. There's another button for thrust, and then there's another button for shoot, and it's spread out, so you have to use really spread your hands apart, and it's meant for you to spend more quarters, and it's great. So just unneeded difficulty only for the sake of greed, and it's wonderful.
Oh yeah, I mean, how many times? Okay, I gotta jump back on the Die Hard the arcade game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so you get to the part where you rescue the president's daughter, and you're like, oh, okay, it's over now. And it's so funny because Japan, Bruce Willis's quote-unquote character looks like Bruce Willis. And they put him in, the white beater and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really weird because he's fighting firefighters who are trying to kill you with flamethrowers. Because apparently there's something lost in translation.
There was a protest of all the New York fighter fighters and stuff.
Yep. And then
Dennis Leary pissed him off or something. I don't know.
God damn it! But
rescue me.
I liked that show. You shush.
I even though he stole from Bill Hicks, I still really love Dennis Leary. But I do kind of keep that in the back of my mind.
Oh yeah. But the great thing for me with this game is that at the end of it, you get to the rooftop and you're like, helicopter, come rescue the kid. And then for no reason, it becomes like a tourney fighter game.
Oh. Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden you're fighting against the other player.
Uh-huh.
For no reason.
It's not even to, claim Miriam like in Double Dragon.
Yeah, and if it was, it's creepy because she's it's a 7-year-old girl.
Is this another Hollywood scandal?
No, it's just Japan.
Oh, god damn it, Japan. I love you, but god damn it.
And then even though we barely get any comments because we suck, somebody will find a way to comment in there and be like, well, actually, the different prefectures changed the age to 18. It's like, yeah, but the natural age is still 13 years old. It's so creepy.
Ew.
God damn it, Japan.
God damn it, Japan.
Oh, so speaking of God damn it, Japan, what else did you enjoy about PAX?
I pretty much looked around at some other vendors and stuff. I was trying to find some kind of more obscure games, just things that were a little more difficult to find. There were a couple of them. There were a couple of places that had import shops. The one item I should have bought, I didn't, was I love robots and stuff like that, and they had a Japanese Xbox 360 game, Cyber Troopers Virtual On 4 or Force, and it's but yeah, Virtual On was this awesome arcade game in the 90s or early 2000s. I forget exactly when, but it was he's throwing stuff, showing me something on his phone. Hey, come on, gotta pay attention here.
Well, yeah, that's what distract people. Okay.
Yeah, true.
Oh, wait, was this the Japanese import game table where everything was absurdly expensive, even if it made no sense?
Yeah, I probably should have still bought it, just because they did have some stuff the Darius collection, there's a big collection of the Darius games, which are shmups, little side-scrolling shoot-'em-up spaceship things.
My favorite was the fact that they were trying to sell Catherine for $30 domestic, because it was new, because it was still shrink-wrapped.
Oh, yeah.
I can go get a shrink wrapping machine and shrink wrap my game.
Some of them look kind of iffy, like they were doing that. I don't know. But yeah, they had those. There were some PSP and Gundam games for Vita. But yeah, so there's that. The one other thing, speaking of kind of mechs and stuff, see, Virtual On was an arcade game
Which
where
one is awesome?
yeah, it's basically an arena kind of fighter, like I don't know, like Pokken Tournament or Gundam Versus if you play that. But it's the arcade machine was like you were in the seat and you had two joysticks and basically you kind of slid all about. Like the robots were very fast, unlike the robots in Steel Battalion that Ian and I played.
Oh, I gave up.
And that was, yeah, Steel Battalion is completely different from Virtual On. It still is a mech game where you have a big-ass controller with two joysticks, and it's basically a cockpit. Like, it has, like, switches, like, you know, as if you're flying a helicopter. You know, look it up, but it was released for the original Xbox, and I never got to play it. And basically, it has, like, foot pedals and everything. It's meant to be a simulation. And like the mechs you're driving are slow. It's like robot jacks, but you know, a lot
That's
more
awesome.
But a lot more technical. Basically, yeah.
What are you talking about, sir? Robot Jacks is a documentary on machines
No, it should be.
and giant chainsaw dicks.
It was really just about well, you got that or you got the cockpit.
But really, who gives a fuck about Alaska?
Alaskans.
Well, yeah, but they don't have that game there.
Um,
And the one Alaskan gamer, the Happy Video Game Nerd, he left Alaska. So now they just have snow.
Oh well, you know, I
And
don't know.
bears.
I'm surprised they haven't. Canada hasn't sawed it off, especially after the vampires came for 30 Days of Night.
It's so funny because you actually read about Barrow. That town is so much smaller than it actually is in the movie.
Oh really?
Yep.
Oh well, you know they had to keep it going for an hour and a half at least.
Yep.
But yeah, so basically with Steel Battalion, I did nothing but try and get my robot to look in the direction that I was walking, and you basically have to like it's like a flight sim game, or if you're trying, you need a learner's license as if you're driving a car. Or
The
something.
fact that there are people there who actually were playing the game and able to play the game,
It's something.
I respect that.
Yeah, it's something I'd actually really like to learn how to play. More so than the Kinect sequel it got for the 360.
That
But,
didn't happen.
Unfortunately, it did.
No, the game where you literally could do nothing didn't happen.
And say, oh no, you could punch your friend that was in the cockpit with you in the tank with you. So that was all right. But
It's like Pacific Rim, but funnier.
yeah. I don't know. Pacific Rim is fun.
I like Pacific Rim.
I actually, you know what?
I don't know how to feel about the sequel.
I'm looking forward to it. I was actually I surprisingly really loved Pacific Rim. I was kind of worried, you know, it's like I didn't think much of it, and it's pretty straightforward, but, you know, I should kind of note for anyone listening to this, I'm not a usual kind of nerd. I don't really, I'm not a huge comic book guy. It's like I'm not big on like the superhero movies. Oh, yeah, you're in denial. But, you know, it's like I like them.
That's how I run this channel.
Yeah, I think they're good, but it's not like my main thing. Like, you know, I'd rather see something like A Walk Among the Tombstones, or, you know, I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan, so like anything he comes out with, Tarantino, Scorsese, those are more my sort of things. But I actually thoroughly enjoyed Pacific Rim. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the new Pacific Rim movie is not by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, that's what I
And
heard.
it's by a guy who directed an episode of Daredevil, and an episode of Dollhouse, and 2 episodes of Smallville, and 3 episodes of Angel.
Oh, well, if the episodes of Angel had Spike in it, maybe it'll be okay.
I think Spike should just pop up in the movie as one of the robots.
That would be awesome. That would guarantee a ticket sale for me. Like, I'm not a big Buffy guy, but anytime Spike was on there, it's like, okay, I'm in.
Well, dude, you know it's always a good sign when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 writers on one movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, you need to... It's much like the robots themselves, the Jaegers themselves. They had to pair up. And, you know, so they paired up in writing teams and duked it out for who would get, you know, place in the script.
You're very positive about this movie. I am not so much.
I'm drunk.
Fair enough. Which is weird because you drove here. Oh my god, no. I mean, he didn't drive here. He biked.
No.
But that's worse.
I'm actually not a big drinker. Honestly, if you go to my YouTube channel, the few times... Most any time I really drink is on that channel. Like when I got my PlayStation 4 and my Xbox One, each of those is like when I actually christened it with a shot of tequila. It's like when was the last drink I had?
Well, when you read the comments for Resident Evil 6.
No, that was just me laughing. No, it was I don't know. No, it's probably, I don't know, if I was drinking, maybe it was because, I was probably bitching about Street Fighter V and how they monetize themselves.
Hey, come on, man. It's the EA way. Pay $60 for a game and then pay another $160 for the game.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, how about you? Did you get a chance to play anything else or see anything else? Some good cosplays and stuff there?
There were a lot of cool cosplayers. We actually we both got to see some friends of ours that we haven't got to see in a while. You, in fact, got to see our friend Lauren, who you've never got to meet in person.
No, I never got to meet her. She does some really cool stuff. I don't know what she does. She actually for a living or so, but she's got a massive games collection.
She owns a Virtual On arcade game.
She owns Virtual On too. I am very jealous, and I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll buy it out from her. I don't know.
For $5.
You know what? I will pay a proper price for that when I can. If I earn a little bit of money, if I have some space that I can put the bloody thing, I would actually buy that from her.
See, that's how you can tell you're on new YouTube, because you have to say the word bloody, even if you're American.
Oh, yeah. No, my clash of cultures, I will say, bollocks and schmuck in the same.
I had to say fuck. It's very important.
Shit, piss, butt, cunt, cock, with the motherfucker, tits, part, turd, and twat, schmuck.
Good job, George Carlin. Good job.
That's the 7 words plus the 3 and plus schmuck in honor of the great Lenny Bruce.
Oh, but you have to be really careful nowadays, because if you say a word that becomes an ism, then it's going to be even worse, especially on YouTube.
No, fuck that shit.
Yep, exactly. Oh, by the way, I'm not particularly worried about this being monetized or not. Here's the funny thing about YouTube and their monetization. There is a episode on this channel where we interview a porn star named Ariel Bonaventure.
I know who that is.
Yes, you do.
No, do I?
I don't know. I don't know. Have you watched My Little Pony porn?
Oh. No. I must have missed this episode. I kind of want to look it up now.
Well, with Ariel, we talked about a lot of different things. And that episode got approved for monetization. Mm-hmm. Because they clearly don't take their time to listen to the show or watch a show. They just look at the graphic and the description.
You didn't call it My Big Pony, did you?
Oh, no. We did an interview with the writer of the Betty Page comic book, the one that's being published by Dynamite. And just because there's a drawing of Betty Page in a bikini, that one was initially not monetized. Even though there's literally nothing offensive in the interview. And
it's just a drawing, too. It's not even a real thing.
Yes. Huh. But the Ariel Bonaventure interview was approved for monetization.
Well, YouTube's horny. What can I say?
Yep. Also, they have ADHD.
Yeah.
So, that's not a picture. Whatever.
Yeah. No. I don't know. It's they're not making any money.
Yep. So, with that, as we ramble on into the ether, do you have anything else you'd like to say regarding PAX?
Regarding PAX, I will say that this year was a lot easier to get around. Like I said, I only got to go there one day, Sunday, but last year was when the premiere of the Nintendo Switch was, and so the lines and such were massive. It was a pain to get through even on the last day. So this year is a lot better, I think, for most people to kind of at least get around to play. I know Capcom had their big booth with Street Fighter Arcade Edition,
and Monster Hunter 3.
Yeah, Monster Hunter.
They really didn't show a lot. They showed a clip and a big dragon.
That's it. Oh, you couldn't play it there?
I can't remember because I'm not a Monster Hunter guy.
Oh, the new one's good. I'm not a big Monster Hunter guy, but if you get a chance to try it.
My friends back in Arizona love them to death. They were so annoyingly obsessed with Monster Hunter to the point where they would have multiple systems plugged in my house, playing Monster Hunter on Wii Online for what that is.
Oh, that's fine.
I know. But
I don't know if they had their PSPs, they'd be really hardcore.
But when you get so tired of something that you're like, I don't want to play that.
Oh,
because
understand.
It irritated me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad game, but when you're completely surrounded by it for an entire weekend, you start to go insane.
Yeah. All right, that's understandable. What else? Oh, they had the big Air Force truck there.
Oh yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah, so they had the Air Force recruiting, they had this big semi truck trailer.
Did they?
And they inside was like one of those 4D like kind of virtual reality like universal rides basically, where you sit in like this cockpit and it would shake you all about, and I'm presuming that there was like a screen in front of it, and like as if you were actually flying in a jet of some sort.
Now, keep in mind, I have a huge military background in my family. My grandpa was in the Air Force. My other grandpa was in the Navy. My dad was in the Army for almost 30 years. So, I have nothing against the military at all. Why do we have Air Force recruitment at PAX? Because I'm sorry. That's a really weird place to try to recruit people for the military. And the first thing I thought when I saw this little room that you go into at the Air Force booth, it's off in shadows, and then you leave. All I thought of was that terrible movie with the Puppet Masters, the one with Donald Sutherland.
No, I don't know that one.
It's really bad. It's a really cool concept, but it's really bad. It's basically Invasion of the Body Snatchers done on a global scale. And it's terrible. But there's this part where people walk into this totally not an alien spaceship, but it's totally an alien spaceship. They get a little alien on them, and then they just walk out the other side with no personality or anything because it's been taken over. And I just like to assume that they just walk in that room, and then they just come out the other side.
Huh. Oh, I don't know. Possibly. Kind of want to see that movie. I love Donald the Man Sutherland.
It's pretty bad. You get to see it. To give you an idea, one of their biggest actors is a guy who kind of looks like Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay. Well, it's got Donald the Man Sutherland. That's all you need, as opposed to his son Kiefer. He ain't his daddy, Sutherland.
I like Kiefer Sutherland.
I like Kiefer Sutherland too, but
he was in the best movie.
Lost Boys.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the most mediocre movie that people remember being great, Flatliners.
I was gonna say that one. I was trying to remember the one he did with Bridget Fonda. That one was forgettable. Oh well, that's why I don't remember it.
Oh yeah, here you go. Puppet Masters, starring Donald Sutherland, Eric Thal as What the Hell Happened to Your Face,
Keith David.
Whoever the hell Julie Warner is, and Keith David being awesome.
Well, he can't do anything else.
It's once again another movie based off a Robert Heinlein novel that does not follow the Robert Heinlein novel. Which is good, because that means it doesn't have weird neo-fascism put throughout.
Okay. I can't think of any other books of his, so I guess that's a good thing.
It is weird, though, because like you read... last tangent before we close up the show for the night. You read Stranger in a Strange Land, which is a very, 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 very liberal, borderline socialism book. And then a couple years later, it's like, what happened to you? Because then he made Starship Troopers, which is like, aren't Nazis great? Book.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I should have actually recognized the name, considering they got you that for Christmas.
Yep. That book is amazing, because you'd think that it's satirical. And then you realize it's not.
Thank you. It's like, oh dear. And yeah, I didn't know that about the book when I bought it for you.
Oh, yeah. The movie is great, because the movie is satirical, and it's basically making fun of the book. Which is fantastic.
Oh, all right. I feel better now.
Yep.
The only thing that would make me feel better is if Casper Van Dien made a huge comeback.
I've met Casper Van Dien. That dude, he's a nice guy. And I really wanted to be a smartass and be like, hey, you did a great job in Tarzan. But, like, the dude is super nice. He was the first person to show me how to actually set up celebrity interviews at a convention.
Oh.
And he was, at the time at least, literally a prince.
Oh
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was actually married to, like, I think the Princess of Monaco or something like that. And then eventually he divorced her. Which, when you divorce royalty, that says a lot about a relationship. When you're like, hey, this constant flow of money, I'm going to go over here.
He's already up on top, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he died in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
Yeah, he was half the man he used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that was a bad pun of a 20-year-old movie now? God damn, I feel old.
I guess so. Oh, well.
So with that...
It's back when Tim Burton tried.
Yeah, he's in better. Big Eyes was really good.
Big Eyes was alright.
But no one saw it.
Alright.
So with that, PAX was awesome. PAX was a lot of fun. Some people we saw on social media who don't get the point of the event complained because there weren't a lot of big video game publishers. And really the point of PAX isn't that. It's more to give people who may not necessarily get that chance to promote their titles on the AAA market a chance to really push their games to let people see them. Last year was kind of dominated by the Switch and Capcom, and it was kind of nice to see them kind of back off and let these smaller designers actually put their work out there.
Yeah, there were a few booths last year, like Yacht Club Games had a good one. That's actually where I got to play the Switch for the first time on Shovel Knight. I talked to the people that made Nefarious and let's see, what was it? Kickstart Heroes and a couple things like that, or Kickstart Heroes. Sorry, I don't think that's the name of it. It's actually a rhythm it's kind of a rhythm music game where you're being chased by zombies in a convertible, and like you got to keep up with the musical notes to shoot the zombies back. It's pretty fun.
That game actually sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. It was like Kickstart Heroes, Dropkick Heroes, something like that. I don't know.
Music zombie techno shoot bang.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try and send you a link to it or something like that.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. But yes, Ian, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me to be on this podcast and be on your show and channel and all that. And thank you for hanging out with me at PAX and just kind of wondering about and all that.
Well, thanks for helping host the show. Fun hanging out with you at PAX. And for people to find you once again, you're Johnny Burns at the YouTube.
Yeah, that's Johnny Burnes. And I really don't have much on my current YouTube channel now. I'm going to wind up doing something kind of wholly new, but you can follow me there, and Twitter and Facebook also. And just to kind of see what, I'll at least pop in with like some insight on various games. I always share like different deals and whatever quips and jokes I feel like doing.
And of course, if you don't know where you are, it's Circuit 42. How did you find us? Because nobody knows who we are. So the fact that you found us is pretty damn impressive. And if you've been listening from the beginning, from the time that we made shows that didn't get that many views to the present day where we make shows that don't get that many views, well, you're appreciated. Also, you get a gold star. The end.
Take care.
You've been listening to Circuit 42, brought to you by Dragon's Lair San Antonio and Gotham Newsstand. Join us for our next episode. For all things geek.
Circuit 42.